More on that later.
More
Hello,
on that.
everyone. It is episode 44 of Don't Listen to Me podcast.
Okay,
Okay,
44.
Lo here. Howdy.
Ow, what's going on? That sounded like ow, but it's ow. A-L. What up, y'all?
What's up? Girl, I was just thinking about your name the other day and how you break it up. Like your name as a full is
Two
dope.
different
Then it's like we call you Nisa,
Nisa.
but then everyone at professionally they call you Al. And I was thinking about women with like unisex or
mm,
usually male names, and I was
mm-hmm.
like, I wonder how what people like when you go to Starbucks and you're like Al, and they're like, oh, that's cute. Like she got a guy name.
You know what? Crazy enough, when I say Al, they always ask me to repeat myself. So I now say Al, A-L, and I have to spell it A-L because they don't expect it to be Al. And when I worked in when I was a server and I worked at the,
Hey
hey
sis.
sis, look at us, we so excited.
I'm so excited for it because her thing is coming up and I cannot wait. Okay, so never mind.
We gonna be posting all on the podcast.
Okay.
Okay, we ain't got no sense. But no. So
Cause we was just talking about cause we
we
got some
was just
birthday
talking about this.
celebrations coming up, so I'm gonna be able to see you soon.
And
Anyway,
her Halloween party.
I'm sorry, sis. You said
Yes.
when you were a server, what happened?
No,
What's your name?
we had there were the chef was named Al and I was named Al because nobody can pronounce my name. They can't pronounce Alnisa, and then when I tell them Nisa, they think it's Lisa. It's just all over the place, right? So I started saying Al in my professional career, and when I was working at 290, there was a chef named Al, and they would call me Q Al. If they referred to Q Al, then it
Cute
meant me
Al. That is too cute.
because they had to differentiate between the chef Al and the
And
server
you.
Al. I was like, why don't y'all just call him
The
Chef
good old
Al? Like
days.
it just
I know that it was right
I
there.
used to call him Chef Al. They were like,
That's
why you call him
funny.
Chef Al? Because my name is Al too. Duh.
And he's the chef.
And he's
Hello.
a come on now. Y'all don't be watching cooking channels.
Okay, connect. Follow this.
Connect.
Follow the line, y'all. Okay. Anyway.
Anywho.
Well, that was good discussion. You know what? Cuz and sis on the chat, what y'all drinking? Cuz that's the first thing that I need to know.
Ooh,
And
first
I'm gonna go
things
ahead and
first.
start it off, sis. Let you know what I'm drinking tonight. I'm making my way through the wine subscription. Ooh, I sounded so Atlanta. Subscription.
You know we don't know how to pronounce
Oh,
screed and
scream.
scrape and scription. Okay.
Oh, y'all. Excuse me.
Screw me. Screw
The
me.
scription, my scription. That daddy got, and so I'm on red wine. I had taken a red wine hiatus because it really be like one cup and I'm done so.
One and done. One and done.
But child, last night I've been binge watching this show called New Amsterdam on Netflix, and some
Have
folks
you
them
been?
girl, yeah, and some folks was dying, so I was drinking this red
Ooh.
wine, crying my eyeballs out
I'm gonna
watching
have to
that.
watch it. I'm gonna tell you about a show that I just binge watched and it was good than a
Oh, let
mother.
me know. Let me know. Okay. Sis says she's drinking Moscato. Love that for you.
Yeah,
Sweet
I love that,
and savory. Very delicious. And
man.
cuz she a real one to trill when you heard.
She Trill, baby. Miller Light. Everybody need a little light in them.
Hello? You know about New Amsterdam, cuz it's good. I'm on like,
What?
oh,
Say what
and so does sis.
now? Say
Yes. Okay. I'm on season 4 now.
what now? Okay.
It's
New
it's like,
Amsterdam.
you know,
What
it's
is
like
it
Grey's
on?
Anatomy, but it's
Is
it's it's
it?
cooler to me
I
because
feel
it's
like
more
I've
like,
seen it. It's personable. It like you feel like it's real life.
yes, and it's
Okay.
about like all of the employees in a hospital, not just the doctors. So it's like the medical director, mainly
Oh,
based on the medical director,
would be
the
me.
different board members.
Would be
It's
y'all me.
so really, 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 really dope. Like
Okay,
I'm like,
so
I really like
I'm
this
gonna have to check
show.
that
It's
out.
interesting. Yeah. Cuz said homework. Homework. So check that out. Check that
I
out.
wrote it down,
What
baby.
you you be taking notes on the podcast. What you drinking though, sis?
Ooh, just some
Oh,
Liberty
we
Creek.
both on red wine tonight.
Yes, and let me tell you why I'm on red wine. I got some
Okay.
Pinot Noir, and you know why?
I love that Pinot Noir.
What do you say you wish you could come home to and somebody had them cook for you? What do you say?
Spaghetti.
Baby, I had a taste for spaghetti today. I text my husband in the middle of the day like, I don't never have a taste for spaghetti. I was like, I got a taste for spaghetti. I'm gonna make us some
With
good old hearty spaghetti
ooh,
when
I
I get
love
home.
it.
And baby, that
What you put
spaghetti
in
was
it?
sopped up. Do you
I
hear
know
me?
it was. You made it with the Italian
You
sausage.
already know
I
I
do
did,
know, cause
baby.
that'd be so good when you
It
do
was
that.
so sopped up. And let me tell you, I was like, my sister's gonna like this. But
Hmm.
this is the real question.
I think
Do
I know where
you
you're
make
going.
spaghetti with the noodles inside the spaghetti sauce, or do you have the noodles separate and you put the spaghetti meat sauce on top of the noodles?
We were raised in the same household. You know what I do? We separated. I put my noodles on a plate, then I put the spaghetti meat sauce on top. Now that is interesting because spaghetti is kind of the only pasta dish I do that with. When I'm making
Right.
like white pasta or seafood pasta, I'll put the noodles in and toss it. But spaghetti, I do separate. Is Do you do that
I
too?
so not for my seafood pasta because I have specific type of the type of pasta that I make. The what are they called? I don't know. The little ones that look like angel hair. I mean not the angel hair, the
Bow tie.
bow tie. And so I do like to put, and also I'm a sauce person. My son is a sauce person, but my daughter and my husband, they are more so the noodle people.
Mm,
So I separate the two, but I do like to when I bake pastas, I put it all together. That's
mm-hmm.
probably the only time. Otherwise, I do separate it. My spaghetti for sure,
For sure, spaghetti.
but my seafood pasta I do separate it because I put like just different. I even put clams. Okay, Crystal. Okay,
Okay, yeah, we're all on the same page.
we all on the same page. Yes, baby. So anyway, I'm drinking red wine tonight because I had been on a white wine kick, but I'm drinking red wine because I felt like it paired well with my spaghetti and it was
You know what?
delicioso.
And I think I know what it is too that's got me on in a red wine mood is it's gloomy. It was rainy all day yesterday. It's gloomy. The
Oh,
weather's changing. Like the AC is
gotta
off,
be it.
baby.
Off.
It's chilly. We're
I
we're
kicked
we're
that
we're
AC off
drinking our
earlier this
whiskey.
week, and my family was like, "You turned the AC? Yes. You better open up a window. You better turn on these
Yeah.
ceiling fans."
Yeah, it's giving
Today is
fall for
really
real.
chilly, right? It literally went from night to day, like
Mhm.
instantly. That lets me know that it's almost my favorite holiday,
Yeah.
and the other favorite holidays to follow. I mean, they're in sync. Like October, November, December, they're all in
Yeah.
line. My favorite
But
holiday,
yes, really, your
October,
birthday
November,
mark
December.
really Brother B's birthday kind of marks the
Mhm,
beginning of holiday
mhm,
season, but
mhm.
because his is like around Labor Day, it still feels summertime.
Yes, and it's hot, and at
It's
least in
hot.
Atlanta.
Yes, and it's still
Yeah,
just like parties and festivals going on
yeah.
outside. But by the time your birthday comes, it's like, okay, no, these are the
We
holidays.
cooling down.
Halloween coming around.
Halloween is right around the
Anyway,
corner.
we
Okay,
apparently haven't talked
we
because we ain't even
we ain't
cheers,
talk,
sis.
baby. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Cheers, baby.
Oh,
Cheers,
cheers.
cheers, cheers
Cheers,
to you guys out there.
everyone.
Cheers, and we're cheersing to.
Oh, I hope not.
No, don't say Scott.
Scorpio.
Come on, baby. You better talk that talk. Scorpio season. We're
What?
cheersing to Walla, our good
Oh
brother.
boy.
Gosh,
Cheers, Walla.
man.
I don't
You
even.
done Walla, you just done you done did it, brother. Why would you do that? But
You
anyway,
done went on up to meet him while we rely on you to be
he
here.
So faithful, so faithful. We really
But no, in all seriousness,
condolences to
seriously,
his
yeah.
family. We're going to miss him. I said this on social media, even though I have never met him physically in person. Instantly the connection was, oh, that's my brother. I always refer to him as brother. So you're going to be greatly missed, and rest in paradise, my brother. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, Walla. Love you, bro.
Love you.
See you on the other side.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
so tonight's episode, y'all, we have a couple. We last week we had our fun game. I hope y'all liked it. Like we had a good old time with our gospel music celebration. When I tell you, I wanna be caught up. Y'all, I had too much fun with that.
I'm glad that Kurt Franklin album wasn't out by then, because y'all done heard that Father's Day album, baby. Woo! I've
It's
been
a
listening to that all
vibe.
day. It's a bop, baby. I've been listening to that all day. Getting. I got the. Sometimes you just got to let them snatch you up and just be in the right spirit. And I had to be in the
Mhm.
right spirit today. So I've been listening
Okay.
to Father's Day album all day, bumping it hard.
I love that. And they're gonna be in concert tomorrow here in Atlanta. Oh, I might pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing if I got the energy. I work late tomorrow, but we I gotta see. But I hope y'all had a good time with that. We
Yes.
surely did, and we have a lot of other fun games in store for y'all. I think y'all are gonna love what we have down the pipe for the rest of this month,
Yes.
and the rest of the year. So y'all keep stay tuned, see
Stay
what the
tuned.
see what the girls is
See
up
what the good
to.
sisters got going on. But tell us about your weekend, sis. How was your weekend?
I had a really good weekend. I spent the weekend in the cabin. I had a cabin trip. Went to called Murphy,
Ooh.
North Carolina with a friend.
Ooh.
It was a really good time. I posted like a little Instagram reel of like
That pasta
basically like
salad.
yes, it really was to be like this. I travel every month. This is basically how, because I don't be it, I I kind of find like little cheap little things to do, even if
Yeah.
it's not I'm hopping on a flight to beautiful paradise every month. I try to go
Right.
somewhere, have a little getaway every month. And yeah, so for October, knocked it out the first weekend. Went on up to Murphy, North Carolina, found the cute. It was literally the cutest little cabin in
Was
the
it?
cutest little area. The Airbnb host, I mean, she met us outside, walked us through the whole little thing, showed us how to operate the hot tub, the fire, like showed us everything.
Hot tub. Mm.
That hot tub, girl, I had a good old time. It was so peaceful. It was
That's
really
what
like
you need.
I love, sometimes it's fun to
Hmm.
like have a vacation where you want to go and do and
Right,
see,
right, right, right.
but sometimes it's like it's nice to just be like, I
Be
paid for this
still.
cabin. I'm about to be up in this
Lay up
cabin.
in this.
Okay.
What?
This hot
Ooh.
tub, this fire pit
Give
that's
me some little
literally
wine. Oh, that's
drink
so
some
nice,
wine.
sis.
It was really nice and peaceful. And yeah, if as
Mm.
far as like just a one-on-one cabin trip, just you and the friend, you and the homie, whatever, even if it's like a romantic getaway, that was like a perfect little cabin for that. Just peaceful,
Really?
quiet, and a good, really, really good Airbnb host.
That's
How
awesome. We all
that was
need that.
pretty much,
We all
yeah, that
need
was
that.
pretty much all I got into, sis. What did you get into?
You know, I'm just gonna like dash through my weekend because I wanna share something with y'all because I wanna talk about my man.
Oh,
Um. Okay, so went to a wedding, one of my girlfriend's weddings. I've known her for probably about 10 years. It was in a beautiful deep down in the country somewhere. It was a waterfall, beautiful, 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 beautiful bride, beautiful groom. It was great. My mom kept the great grandchild while we went because dad had to work, and let me just tell you, he's the joy of their lives as well. I didn't know. I was like, okay, I know y'all like the grands better than y'all like the kids, but now it's the grand, it's the great grand. That baby got everybody wrapped around his finger, and he's running things. You hear me? Had a
Yes.
good old time. But so if you guys didn't know, there's a national holiday in 2 weeks from today. Okay, and let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. I'm going. I've always celebrated my birthday big, and I'm gonna always celebrate my birthday because let me tell you something. There's people that ain't having birthdays no more. So as long as I'm having birthdays, baby, I'm gonna celebrate it to the fullest because God is good
Hey.
all the time. So let me tell you what my husband did today. I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all this so y'all can see. So he came home and everybody knows I have it on our calendar, our monthly calendar, that it's a national holiday 2 weeks from today. Big old heart. Okay. I got plans, I got dinners, blah blah blah, kicking it with the family, kicking it with friends, like yeah, yeah. But he comes home today and he's like, all right, give me like 15 minutes. I got something to show you. So it was three different, the challenge on social media where they do like the cards, you pick two of the different cards. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
get two
yeah,
cards
yeah,
and you
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
And so, but me, I'm cooking and doing dishes, and I'm like, okay, well, he's like this, okay, top or bottom, and I'm like bottom. So it was three categories. I can't tell y'all the one of the categories, but two of the categories I'm gonna tell you about, right? So the first category was, okay, let me just say, I am not a fancy person. I'm very low key, unbeknownst to some. And I know I got two big birthday dinner celebrations coming up. So I was like sold on this. So the first two cards, I'm going to show y'all. The first two cards, hopefully y'all can read his handwriting, said Red Lobster or Applebee's.
Applebee's.
First of all, I picked Red Lobster, but when he put that card down, I was like, I want Applebee's. Please, can I take it back?
Oh my gosh.
They have $1 margaritas. I
Give me
want to be
one
there.
margarita. You
I
a
want to be
trip.
there. So that's my first card, Applebee's. My second card was, I'll just show y'all. Basically, I picked this one. Get a gift every Thursday until your birthday.
Oh.
And guess what the gift was, guys?
What was it?
Look at
Oh, that is
this. It
so
matches. You remember
cute.
my little.
Shoes.
No, I got shoes to
Oh.
match it. But my when I took to Italy, my what do you call that? What do you call it?
Uh,
The duffel, the little, the in the what is the name of it?
fanny pack?
Fanny pack. It matches
Oh,
my fanny pack. It matches my fanny pack. It's the match to
that is
my
so
fanny pack.
good job, brother.
I get a
That
gift
is
every
so
Thursday until my
cute.
birthday.
Oh,
Isn't that so sweet? My man, my man, my man, my man.
y'all are so stinking
So
cute.
that's how
Cute.
my week has gone.
I love that. You are so excited, as you should
I was
be.
like, oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna wear this book bag tomorrow with my coach shoes.
Girl, that is too cute. You be
Yeah,
in
so
that coach, bro. I need to grow up and get some name brand stuff. Ooh.
I love me some. I don't care what nobody say. I love me some Get Big on Coach, baby.
No,
Okay.
coach. No, coach. Folks be trying to. I feel like people know coach is that girl. Okay.
Why? Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it
Yeah,
be?
coach. Everybody knows coach is that girl. So hush. You know what? Speaking of your man, your man, your man, your man. Uh, Jada
Somebody
said,
man or
"I
not
ain't got
a
no man."
man,
Jada said, "I ain't had no man for 7 years. Get out my
baby.
face. Thank you." Okay. Now, I don't know. I read some comments that was asking that is Will in the same room as the separation because they have
They ain't
not
seen not an eye.
they ain't seen each other yet. The separation and Will have not been seen in the same room. So I don't think he's aware. But no,
Let's talk about
seriously,
it. Let's talk about it,
we're gonna
family.
talk about it, man. It's funny to like make jokes just because it's hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make light of this. Y'all know a single auntie done been divorced, and it ain't no cakewalk, brother. But this is just it's kind of funny. Is it just black people we're so unserious? Like, or is it just me? Because I just was like, now Jada.
Listen, this is. I think
Now
this. I
Will.
think this is the only joke I'm gonna crack. I think
Okay. Okay.
I saw this one girl on TikTok that had a whole song called
Girl, I
designated
saw
to
it.
Will and Jada talking about some take us out the group chat.
I, I saw. I
Take
saw.
us
She
out
came out with that song so fast.
with the do, 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 do,
The
take
fake.
us take us out the group chat, baby. I don't care. I don't care enough. Let me tell you something. What I do. Okay, so listen. I know the topic is being judgmental, but this is my one judgmental moment. Okay, I don't care about what you rich people have going on in your lives. Like, I don't care. You should you should have exposed that years ago when people were talking about their speculations, and now you want to come out with it after the whole slap of our good brother. Like,
Brother Rock.
why? But anyway, I mean, I guess you got to live in your truth. I just don't really. I really want to know, like, if we could take a poll on how many people really care about what is and what isn't going on in the relationship. But I think it is something worth talking about, because if this is true, and if they really felt like, okay, we just gotta live in this lie, and what, for whatever reason, Jada, in her, I guess, her interview, she was talking about how she couldn't let go. Like, have you gone to therapy and unpacked that as to why you can't let go if you're not going to be a fully committed, union as a husband and a wife, and why you feel like, and your kids are grown. Like, to me, I don't think there's any reason for them to be holding on to something that isn't there. You ain't lived in the same household. You get to do what you want to do with who you want to do it with. What is the, you just want that, the title or the status or the whatever the case may be. Y'all got a prenup and your I don't know. I just don't get it.
It's really a trip, man. I think the general consensus on social media has been we don't care, get us out the group chat, da 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 da, which is true. And also, this is pure entertainment. Like, it's kind of
Entertainment.
like I feel bad because this is their real life. Like, and I know that
And we're
this
making
has to
fun
be
of it.
tricky for them. And at the same time, it's like this is circulating the media more than like actual world news, and people are saying like we don't care, we don't care. But I've been looking at like all the posts, like what?
Every
This
last one of them.
crazy. What you said when you said it, Jada? You a trip, girl. But I want to read.
Said what you said.
I have kind of historically been, I feel like, kind of a defending Jada Pickett's honor in a in a way,
Really?
because I feel like she gets it's
She's
really,
misunderstood.
I
Mm.
don't under I it's interesting to me to see it play out in real time. Like a black woman doing nothing but my kind of like doing things that every single other person in the entire world and industry does,
Mhm.
but when she does
Mhm.
it, it's like, now that's
Everybody's
why you're the
judging her.
problem and you're worthless
Yeah.
and you shouldn't even da, da, da. And I'm like, this, if we kind of play it, if I replay it back, all of this we know in their business started because some black man put their business on Front Street. Shout out to
Mm.
my good brother Alcina. Okay, not to be
Mhm.
accused with Alnisa. Okay,
I was
Alcina.
just about to say that. Come on, somebody.
Not to be that our good brother. So and her and her husband collectively made a statement together with that. She didn't come out and
But
say
did
this,
he?
that, and that.
Did they collectively? Because
They
Will
did
wasn't there. He was
on the
he was
red,
there,
no, on the
but
red
he wasn't
table
there.
talk.
I know what
If
you
you
mean,
catch my
girl. Did you
drift.
see his face on that daggone red table? He was like, I do not want to be here and I don't want to be a part of it, but we got to address it.
Child, I guess because they were separated at the time and they were whatevering.
Hmm.
They said we ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life. I feel like they've been telling us all
Bad
along
marriage for
that
life.
we not together like that. We just
We
together,
just
but we
together.
ain't together like that. So they came out said that what they had to say together. Will Smith then comes out with a book,
Yeah.
goes on a full press junket circuit, slaps Brother Rock, goes on another full press junket talking about their relationship, talking about the things in their
But did he say
relationship.
anything? He did. I didn't read that book. I don't even know anything about that book. His
Well,
book.
I don't know if he said anything. I didn't read the book either, but I do know that it was around the. I believe that it was around the time when everything had came out
With
with
the okay,
the
gotcha.
status of their relationship and like some of the issues that they were
Oh,
having.
okay.
So the interviews that he was having, people were talking about that. And one of the interviews I watched, like a clip recently, it came out back then, but I watched it again, like when all of this new stuff with Jada came out, just to kind of see, like, well, what did Will
What's
say
going on?
when he was talking about it? And it's almost like he gave like a politician answer, but it
He's
was
very
basically saying the
polished.
same thing. Like he basically
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we never really he said we never really separated. We just have a free marriage basically. Like we're free
Mm.
in our marriage. And I was like listening to him say all the things that he was saying today. I'm like, yeah, he never really said we go together. He really was just like, yeah, that's my wife,
We
but
kicking it.
not
We
like
kicking
that,
it, but I
And then
mean,
Jada,
hey,
it's like Jada, now that she's right, she hasn't said nothing this whole time. Not for this. The last time we heard from our good sister Pinkett was at that red table talk when she said what she said. I don't recall nary another interview of her discussing
that's what I'm
they
saying.
shenanigans until she comes out with her own book. Just like every
Yeah,
other celebrity, they go on a
celebrity.
press junket. She's just telling her side of the story finally
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 years later, and everybody's once again like, Jada, you suck. And I want to read this thing, right? Somebody, I screenshot it because I was like, I think she said it really well. It's this author that I follow, and she's a theologian too, really dope woman. You know her, sis Candace Bimbo.
Oh
She
yeah.
she put a post up and said, I don't like how y'all be doing Jada. It amazes me how the narrative is that she talks too much when this book is the first time she's told her story. Before this, she's
Mm.
only been responding to what men, including her husband who released his book
Mm.
first and said the same things, have said and done. Many don't like her for reasons that are wild, but she wrote a memoir, and like every other celebrity who has written one, she gets to dominate entertainment news cycles as she promotes it. And I just thought that really was a succinct way
Mhm.
to kind of like sum up this
Mhm.
new,
Mhm.
craze over Jada and her telling her story with her memoirs. Like, I mean, feel how you feel, but I do think that the attacks on her are unnecessary. You could say
Yeah.
she need to not say that and keep your business, fine, but keep that same energy for Will Smith and whoever else is, you know what I'm
I feel
saying?
the same for both of them scoundrels. I
Yeah,
think they need to just shut up, stay together, or not stay together. I just don't feel like there is a hotter. This is hot or cold. There's
yeah,
no gray area, and I don't. I feel like, and I'm not a celebrity, even though maybe I'm a celebrity in my own head, but I'm not a celebrity in real life. And I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire in real life, so I don't know their
yet.
struggle yet. Come on, insert that yet. But I do think that is it just something to stay relevant? Like I don't get I
I could
think
see
that
that.
I just don't get the fact of sharing something so intimate as it relates to your marriage unless someone I do understand that there are some times where you're like, okay, I gotta come to the defense and blah 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 blah. But when that August Alsina came out, I feel like, okay, well maybe that would have been a perfect time. Or
I agree. I do agree.
maybe she knew that she wanted to eventually write about it. But I just think that okay, timing is you know, even when I'm reading through the stuff that I just can't miss on social media, where she talks about in the interview that Chris Rock asked her out to dinner, and she was like, "What? Why are you asking me out to dinner?" And he was like, "Oh, you're getting a divorce, right?" And she's like, "No, we're still married." And then I'm like, "Okay, well, is she trying to insinuate that that was the reason why? Like, why would you put that out there? Are you saying that that was the reason why Will Smith, you know, decided he wanted to slap you?" I just think that there is like it's a poking of the bear, and I just I don't know. I don't like people to kind of just put themselves out there, especially when we ain't asked for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be different if people were like, well, I guess they were. I'm contradicting myself because they have been asking for it, but it's been years that they've been asking for it, and I just think that maybe for her is the right place and right time. But one more thing that I will say is I heard a comedian talking about this before she came out with her book and everything. It was actually Earthquake. Have you heard that? He was talking about how, he was like, yeah, Jada don't really love him. She's not, that's not her person. And they're like, why do you think that? He was like, well, listen, she had her daughter was on social media crying, talking about Tupac, come back to us. We know you're alive, and me and my mom could be so much better off, and blah 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 blah. And he was like, and she did. I remember that whole thing where Willow was going on and on about, like having mental breakdown, like come back to us. And he was like, dude, she wasn't even around when Tupac was alive. How does she even know to talk about these things without some kind of influence? Is essentially is what he was saying. And so I get that. Like even, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I be old school in this sense where I'm like, listen, keep that at home.
Yeah.
I do literally, I do pray for anybody that has gone through a rough patch or going through a rough patch and or divorce, separation, all of that, because I've been there, I've done that. It's like you said, it's not an easy journey, and it takes a healing process. But also, and even though the conversation is not being judgmental, I'm not judging. I do think that in order to prevent people from judging, that there are certain things that maybe you should just keep to yourself so that there is no judgment and no condemnation of others to be like this, that, and the third. I'm just not going to put myself out there to a certain extent, because at the end of the day, I know people will judge me and I know people will have their different opinions. But I also, on the flip side, understand that she's a celebrity and this is what they do. You know what I mean?
That's real. Speaking of, like, that's a perfect way to kind of segue into the conversation because, like you said, it is virtually impossible. Good evening, brothers. Good evening.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, David.
It's virtually impossible to prevent yourself from being judged
Hmm.
at any at all in all like
Absolutely.
ways, but I do think that there is an opportunity for us to practice wisdom on what we share. So for example, the difference is Jada got married in a time before social media. So even though it
Hmm.
was like, yeah, we're married, we can be on the outs and nobody could ever know. Then there's this huge transition of social media. Will Smith became
Mm.
like massive pretty quick when he first got an Instagram. And then from there, it's just like it kind of sucks you in. So I can imagine that it was difficult for them to be able to curate like and find that
Hmm.
balance of what to share, what not to share. They've been
Yeah.
celebrities, massive celebrities for a very large portion of their life. So there's one thing. And
Hmm.
I'm like, the other example is someone like Issa Rae, who we don't know. I mean, you can find articles
Nada.
about her husband, but we ain't seen nothing about that man. Even the post of her marriage, she made it like a funny thing, like, oh my God, all my homegirls came to this party with the same dress on. They were her bridesmaids and they had the
Come
same
on.
dress. And
Come
she's
on.
make that was her I got married announcement. And she just doesn't
I love it.
it's like you can judge my art, you can judge my work
Hmm.
that I put out in the world, you can judge my musical taste, you can judge my
But this is
personality,
the one
how I
thing
look,
that you can't.
but
Yeah.
I won't even give you an opportunity to
Hmm.
say anything about my marriage, at least not provoked by me. Like I've said nothing about it. So you can't. I mean, you can say people could say things about her
They can
marriage,
speculate,
but
right?
it literally has no weight because she has said absolutely nothing on her public platform. So I think that that's one thing where it's like, okay, I give them a little slack because they're navigating a new world in which is social media, and I mean, like you said, I'm not famous, but to no means, and like our good sis Tia Mowry, she had to get somebody together real quick on on Twitter, letting that girl know, girl, don't nobody care about you. You not famous, okay? So why are you even here?
So
First and
shut
foremost.
up.
So
Suck it.
I'm taking that Tia Mowry's advice and being like, girl, shut up. You're not famous. So this obviously doesn't apply to me. But I'm just saying, like, this is where I get, giving people some grace and being like, well, they just
Absolutely.
navigating it the best way they can, just like I overshare on social media
100%.
and this podcast. It's just seven of us here though, so versus the whole world. So I mean, I'm kind of straight. It could go viral, but I
I'm
mean,
kind of straight.
I'm kind of straight. Yeah, for
That's
all intents and
hilarious.
purposes. But yeah, I do. The thing that made me think about this though was I had been following this couple that I really like, theologians, and they really have a great way to talk about pop culture from a biblical
Mm,
context. And the more I have been listening to them and kind of just seeing some of their social media posts, I felt like it took a turn from, you know, coming from a place of love and information and wanting to just spread the gospel to teetering on feeling a little bit more
mm,
judgmental. And I was like, man, it's really interesting. I'm wondering if the church or Christians judgmental culture is parallel to just the regular world's judgment culture, like how everybody's coming down on social media and how I can see sometimes like Christian leaders in the comments themselves,
mm.
kind of going back and forth with folks. And I'm like, this isn't good. It doesn't feel good to see like people of faith that are publicly
Yeah.
like leaders in Christianity and leaders of faith, kind of coming out of what it feels like the responsibility of their position should hold them to judge somebody that
Mm,
they don't know, could be probably going through a difficult time,
mm.
and just
Just
chiming
doesn't
in
know
on
how to
things. Yeah,
navigate
or even
through.
like hearing preachers speak about things over the pulpit. I think a preacher that went viral. Oh, what was he talking
Oh God, I got
about?
one, but I don't know if I should talk about this one. Mm.
I think he was talking about something like, basically like what women can and can't do, what they should and shouldn't do. Like, it's your job to,
Mm.
let a man know this and let a man know that. And it was just
It's
like,
probably the
bro,
same
you're
one that we talking
kind of
about.
wild, bro. This is just a little odd. What do you think about that? And please, y'all, in the
I'm
comments,
scratching my
chime in.
head.
Like, what's up with this? Like, do y'all feel like the landscape of Christianity,
I had to
maybe
crack my neck for
church?
this one.
Oh,
Get ready.
maybe even church feels like it's just as much judgment, in Christian circles. Not to bash it, but just your experience, or even if it's just like public figures in Christianity, maybe not your own individual personal experience, but have you noticed that there seems to be a lot of parallels of judgment in both, Christian environments and just regular social media streets?
I will say this, and maybe this isn't along the lines of what you are necessarily the question that you're asking, but I will say from like the era that I feel like we came from, where I literally was just thinking about this. Like I can compare it almost to like a Will and Jada, like the judgmental aspect where we're being so judgmental on the woman, but kind of giving the
Right.
male some slack. Where I know personally, and this is not to, you know, call anyone out, but I know growing up where, I saw people, men in the church, men and women in the church engage in acts that the church felt as if that wasn't of God. And you would see, the man and the woman be together and then the woman get pregnant. And I literally witnessed, and you might have been too young for this, but I literally witnessed the woman getting up in front of the pulpit and apologizing, whereas the male was still on the musicians team and leading praise and worship, and there was no, repercussions to him. It was all the woman's fault. And I will say that I do think that we tend to we are as a culture from back then to now maybe more judgmental on the woman. Maybe we feel like the woman is in the Christian community, or at least when the era that I grew up, it was the woman's job to kind of keep things like in wrap and not expose certain things and not be so vocal and not be so loud and not, you got to keep the husband and the kids, and you got to keep everything together. You are the glue. And so maybe that's where society has decided that, oh, you don't get to speak your truth, even if it is your truth. I mean, even if you don't necessarily have an outlet to talk about what you feel and how you feel. And so I do think that that is a double standard. Um, I do, and it's unfortunate, but I don't even know what your question was. I just picked that out to be like, you know what, it does compare to the era that I've kind of grown up in, to where the male isn't necessarily, he might be said to be at fault, but he's not necessarily said to be at fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that kind of does definitely go along the lines of like what I'm kind of getting at. I may not have asked the question succinctly, but that's essentially like I just like feedback on your general, what you notice about the judgment in the church. And you're absolutely right. David said that too. There's been judgment in the church for years. Um, Nobody has gotten to the root cause judgment in the church or even in Christianity. And Kev, I feel the problem is we would rather judge people to hide from our own insecurities. That's a really good point.
Ooh.
And you know what? Even to that point, Kev, I think that it's a taught cycle of like oppression and control. Like there's there's something. I've heard people have this argument about, men, just having a hard time in the workplace and
Mm,
being hyper villainized in the world and then coming home and having to, I guess, fight for that sense of power as well. So, I think sometimes it can be perpetuated, that cycle of oppression, like, this is this is the expectation because I've been fighting through all of these shenanigans out in the world. So now when I come home, this is the this is kind of the behavior that I've been taught to make sure that I can kind of control this situation to go the way that I want it to go. And I don't know. I feel like I really don't know. I really feel like there's just a lack of general studying, maybe studying scripture for ourselves and kind of asking God to help us r- understand the application for ourselves as individuals. So I, I've I think the biggest thought that comes to mind when I see like pastors or spiritual leaders being what seems judgmental, the thought that comes to my mind, like the loudest thought that I have in my mind, is like, I just can't pinpoint a part in scripture, and I'm no theologian, but I can't pinpoint a part in scripture where Jesus was behaving this way, where Jesus was treating people this way or talking to people this way, especially people that he didn't know. Like, I know that there are parts in scripture where, Jesus is going to pray with his disciples and they fall asleep and he's like, you couldn't even pray with me for an hour. Like, asking, like, kind of on some, really, bro? I don't think that that's, to me, the type of judgment that we are seeing in the pulpit or with Christian leaders. But if I were to even use that as an example, at least that was a part of his inner group of people where he's like, bro, like, you my homie. I invited you to come up here and pray with me. You knew the assignment. I trusted you with this. I thought you had my back. I thought we were going to talk to the good old Lord together,
You better tell the
but you
people,
but you're falling asleep, and that those are his homies, like his
homies.
closest
Yes.
friends, and people walking with him, disciples.
Yeah.
Him, he riding with them, so it's like
Hmm.
he's not. I don't know. I just feel like I can't really think of a time where, even, where Jesus was just talking so judgmental. I felt like Jesus, to me, it was, if he felt more like a teacher, like a therapist, like, I'm gonna present
He
you
was
with this.
definitely a therapist.
Yeah, I'm gonna present you with this scenario. Like, let
Yeah.
me just, here
Lay it
go
all
this.
out there.
Yeah, here go the scenario. And you know what? You let me know which one you think is best. Do you
Yeah.
think it's best to hide your talents? Who do you think it's best to sow your talent and get a little bit back? Do you think it's best to sow all your talents and get a whole bunch back? Do you think it's good for this, this prodigal son? Like, I'm gonna tell you this scenario. He done wild out. And then look what happened. What you let that sit on your
Come on.
spirit for a minute,
Set
brethren
that
and
right there.
sisterin. I just, even the woman caught in the act of adultery, everybody's trying to judge her and
Yes.
stone her, and
And the
he's
Lord
like
Jesus.
writing on the sand, like, well, gone. The first one that ain't did no
Y'all
sin,
see
y'all
why she
gonna
the
throw
Holy
that
One?
first stone,
Y'all see
and
why she
then
the Holy
ain't
One?
now one of them left. So I just be like, it really is a trip to me how Christian leaders, especially, just feel so justified, like, and spirit led. Like, I got the Holy Spirit and I'm spirit led to be this judgmental, cruel, callous,
Yeah.
no empathy, no consideration, no love, no
Yeah, yeah,
grace,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
do the things right because otherwise you're doomed to hell. And it's just like,
Listen,
this is
that's very
so
important,
odd.
sis. Yeah, and honestly,
I'm
I
done.
say this. Listen, I say this all the time. I say this often, but I think it really is a matter of giving people the same grace that you want extended to you. And I think sometimes, in some instances, people don't even understand what that means until they're in that space
Girl,
where they
me,
need.
I'm some people.
We've all been that person where you don't even know until you get in that space. You're like, God dang it. I'm sitting over here judging my brother or my sister, and
Yeah.
I'm in a space where I need grace. And that reminds me of something that, because I used to watch the Red Table,
Yeah, me
certain
too.
interviews, but there was one interview where um, Jada had a Red Table with Will Smith's ex-wife. This just reminded me of
Yes.
giving people grace. And Jada had Will's ex-wife on the red table, and they talked about an instance where, or an incident where their son, everybody knows their oldest son Trey, maybe I think they were like out somewhere. He was with Will and Jada out somewhere, and this was before Jada had kids. And I think the storyline was he acted out. And as soon as the ex wife got to their house to pick him up, Jada was popping off like, we need to have this conversation because Trey was doing this and Trey was doing that. And she was inserting herself into like, he can't be doing this, he can't be doing that, until she had kids of her own. And if that ain't humbling, I don't know what is. And they literally talked about it and laughed about it because she was like, yes, I did that. And I was so wrong for that. But again, it goes back to giving people the same grace that you want extended for yourself. Knowingly or unknowingly, you don't know what trials you might come in, into in the future, and the things that you might encounter. And I really do try to live my life like that, because even now, I tell my staff members when they like bickering and arguing and talking about this person didn't do that, okay, well, give them some grace, because you know what? I'm sure that there's going to be something that I do as your leader. I'm sure there's going to be something that you do along the line that we're going to be like, you know what? I'm sorry, I messed up. As long as we can own up to it and say, you know
Exactly.
what? Forgive me. I was wrong. I will do better. I will make every attempt and every effort to put my best effort forward, you know, and let's move on and resolve the issue. And so I think that was a very, for me, I was like, dang, Jada, I feel like that's happened to me many, many times throughout the years where I did not necessarily extend grace to someone in that moment. But then looking back, I'm like, dang, that was my bad. My bad for not giving you that grace that
Ooh.
I should have extended to you, because I know I needed the grace along the way, some way or another. So I'm gonna extend her some grace. I am.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair.
Even if it ain't my job to extend her some grace. She don't need my grace. She don't need my grace.
At all. Like really she doesn't, but I think it's just a way for us to practice, like for us to practice it in general. Like, I one of my favorite things to tell people is like, oh, we're not just getting these things through osmosis. That's like one of the things that I say. Like you have to practice things like, oh, excuse me. Like for let me see, like meditation. You talked about, you do meditation, but I hear people that do meditation say all the time, like, I can't just um I have to kind of work my way up. So I practice it doing 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll practice it doing 10 minutes, and then so on and so forth. And as the practice kind of gets a little, as I'm more consistent with the practice, then I'm able to really like kind of master it. And I really think that that's a good approach for a lot of different things, not just meditation, but it's good to practice not being so judgmental, to practice love, to practice like being kind of folks.
Gentleness, kindness, even with
You know what?
exercise. Even with
Absolutely.
exercise, you can start off 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, I'm tired," and then before you know it, you've been doing that, and now you up to 30 minutes. You up to an hour. It applies to every area of your life. You have to
Literally.
prayer. It applies to prayer. You can start a few minutes out of your day with prayer, and you're like, "Oh God, 5 minutes is a long time." Next thing you know, you slayed in your closet 30 minutes long, and you're like, "Jesus, I
Shaba.
need more of you."
Uh-huh. And that's the way that works.
Everyday life, baby. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. But you know what? You saying that kindness, gentleness, I think that's probably why I've been so on, like, or thinking about, like, some of the things, like rethinking things, because I've been studying the fruits of the spirit, like a little, it's like a, how the Bible app gives you different plans that you can do. And that's one of the ones that I've been studying, and I've just kind of gone through them all, and I'm like, judgment ain't one of the fruits, y'all. I don't know who need to hear this, but
Shut up.
it ain't one.
I think
Okay.
if you look
I don't know if they
deeper
knew.
into the fruits of the spirit, then it along the lines of, maybe I'll do some research. I don't know.
No, I said judgment ain't. You
That's what
was
I'm
right.
saying.
Gentleness, kindness, those. That's
Yes.
that's the right one.
But the
Those the right ones.
underlining of those can I don't know. I'll do some more research. I'm gonna do some. I'll be doing my plans. So I'm gonna do some plans on judgment just to see, so I can report back.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna find one where it say we need to be judging folks. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
not to say that we judging folks. I'm saying that we don't need to be judging folks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't in
Oh,
the
okay.
fruits
I'm
of the
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
spirit. We
sorry.
don't
I'm
need to
sorry.
be
I'm sorry.
doing it.
I misunderstood you. I misunderstood you, baby. I thought you were saying it ain't there. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sure Jesus
It
don't
ain't
want
one
us
of the
judging.
ones. Yeah,
Okay.
he don't
My
want us
bad.
judging. So
My
he
bad.
ain't
My
make it
bad.
one of the fruits. He want us to be kind. You is kind. You is
You is
important. What else the lady said?
you
Y'all
you is
know Viola, my
you is
girl.
smart. You is
Hmm.
kind.
You
Yes.
is
Okay.
important. So okay, look,
That was a good
we
conversation. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was great. Let the moral of the story. Let's try not. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to me.
yeah, same.
Be judgmental, okay? It's not my intent. I want everybody in this life to win. So don't ever think I'm getting on here trying to bash somebody. Even Jada Pickett Smith, who has millions of dollars, and her husband is Will Smith. Listen, I don't no judgment, and I definitely don't want no smoke. I love her, and
Me
I love her
neither.
with the love of
Mm.
God, and I pray that they get the help that they need and the healing that they deserve. So
And that's just that on that, okay? Y'all, I have this thing that I really want to do. Y'all know how we've been doing our uh our like one gotta go for Atlanta. I'm trying to pull it up, so let me see if I can get it up here. Give me just this, let me see. I gotta see what I can do here. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? It had me in a chokehold, and I was
hmm,
like, the world needs to know, and I think I got it. Okay, here we go. So, you ready? It's processing.
hmm.
It's processing. We're getting ready to go, y'all. We got a couple more minutes.
We live, baby. Oh, it's a internet debate. Oh God.
Pick three, sis. Don't fire them all off quick. Give me one at a time that you're keeping, one at a time, and tell me why. One at a time.
Y'all
Please
know
don't
me
fire
by
them all off.
now, then you're just fired as the people that I love. Everybody should know my number one pick. Everybody, and let me tell you something. I've been good for a very long time, and I ain't had this in so long. And now you gonna make me go get it tomorrow morning on my way to work. Waffle House is my number one pick, baby. My number one pick, baby. Shout out to my Uncle John. Rest in peace. God rest his
Oh,
soul. He worked at Waffle House
we
for so many
love
years.
you, Uncle John.
Oh my God. Come on. You gotta go now. What's your favorite number one?
That's my number one too. Waffle House. I'm either getting the All Star meal with, even though I don't get even though I have not tried the whole menu. I'm gonna be honest.
I haven't either.
I've
I
never
stick
had the
to
steak, but I have tried.
sure.
I have had every single thing else other than the steak. That's the only thing I haven't had.
Let's talk
I
about
get.
it. What's your first pick on the menu?
I'm most likely not. I'll say 8 times out of 10, I'm getting the All Star. I'm getting the
Mm-hmm.
All Star with I'm gonna get scrambled eggs. Sometimes I get it with cheese. Sometimes I get it
Same.
plain.
Okay, we sisters.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the
What kind of toast you
hash
gonna
brown.
get?
I never get toast. You know, I'm not a huge bread person like that. So
I'm
I
not
just
a
tell
huge
them
bread person, but I get raisin bread, baby. Give me that
I
toasted
don't like
raisin
raisins.
bread. Oh, I
I don't
never
like
knew that. How am
raisins.
I your sister and I
Yeah,
didn't know that?
this just in. I don't like raisins. Breaking news, man. Yeah, I don't like
I
them.
love raisin bread. My kids love raisin bread too. Oh my God. Mama used to buy raisin
Man,
bread
she
for
did.
me.
I remember mom used to buy raisin bread. I never liked it. I mean, I like the cinnamon part, but I don't like the taste of raisins. I don't like raisins. So,
Wow, I never
yeah,
knew that.
I don't. So, I usually tell them no toast, but they always give it to me and I just never eat
Yeah,
it. But
I'm
I'm
not
going
a
to get,
toast person.
yeah, I'm
What
going to
kind
get the
of
hash
egg?
browns with,
Okay.
usually with just onions.
Nuh-uh. Say it the way. Say it in Waffle House terms.
I think it's scattered. It's either, I think it's scattered. I'm gonna get my hash browns
Okay.
scattered, yeah, it's scattered. I'm pretty sure scattered. Scattered. I know capped is with mushrooms, I think, and
Yup.
then what's the one with jalapenos?
Peppers. I think it's
Pepper.
scattered and peppers. That's how I get mine.
That's how you
Ooh, I
get yours.
love it. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, those hash browns are the main event for me. The hash brown and the eggs actually are the main event for me. I usually get bacon.
Okay,
Sometimes
I was
I'll
gonna ask
get
you.
well no, you know what? I've been switching it up in recent years. I'll have them switch out the pork for just a grilled chicken fillet.
I ain't never know you could do that.
You could do that. I've gotten that every single time. So they're like, "What's your meat?" I'll say, "Can I sub it with just a grilled chicken fillet?" So
Had no
sometimes if I'm in the
idea.
mood for like pork, I'll get it. But usually I actually have in the
I would have
last
been got
few
that.
years. Yeah, it's really
I would have
good.
been got
It's
that.
good like
You
that.
know what?
And I
I
get
need to replace that card that my husband got me with Waffle
with
House.
waffle.
Okay, I get
Because
it.
you can
I
actually
see.
BYOB, and I doubt they would say a thing.
Oh,
Honestly.
I got my cup that my cousin made me right here,
Period.
baby.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Okay. Cause yeah, just fill that cup up and order you an orange juice and just throw it in the champagne. It's
Mimosa.
fine. Boom,
Mimosa.
there you go, just like that. But and then I get my my waffle. I actually get my waffle with pecan and chocolate chips.
Ooh.
That's a dessert, baby. It's so good. Yeah, and
I've
then every
never,
once
you
in a
putting me
while, it's
on.
that's good. Now that's what you need. That's a dessert. It's so good, just like that. I'll usually save the waffle. I don't usually I eat like one fourth maybe at Waffle House. I take the rest.
Does Waffle House
I take
Uber
that damn
Eats?
thing.
Because I might,
Girl, I don't know,
you
but they
might
they
be
right
on to
around the corner.
something.
You know they right around the corner. Wherever you at. Waffle House is right around the
I
corner,
just
child.
can't wait. Okay.
Okay, what's your number two?
No, I
Oh
want to
no,
talk
what's
about
your
that
order?
pecan waffle.
Oh, have, I want
No,
to ask you, have you had their grits though?
I actually have not, and people always tell me that. But I've just
I
become a grits
have.
lover.
Me
I used
too.
to really.
In recent years,
Me
I not I
too.
won't say recently, but when right around like in my 20s, that's when I started liking grits.
In my 30s, that's when I started liking grits. I was not a
Wow.
grits lover. I
Me
know
either.
our dad loved grits. My husband loves grits. Like I have to make grits every weekend for
Mm.
breakfast. He loves grits. But I have heard that Waffle House has some good ones. I usually do like you, the All Star. I of course do it with bacon, smothered, capped,
Pepper.
peppered for my um, hash browns and raisin toast. Sometimes I do cheese on my eggs. Just depends on how I feel. Sometimes I don't, but they always got to be scrambled. Now that I know that I could substitute a chicken fillet for my meat, I absolutely will be doing
That's
that. But
good.
my
Yeah.
second choice, second and third choice, real quick. Second choice is the chicken melt with bacon on it.
Same. The Texas chicken. That's my second choice. When I'm feeling like being really bad and sneaky, whoo,
Can't nobody do it better. Can't nobody do it better,
that
baby.
Texas toast.
And when they ask you if you want bacon on it, yes, put
Yeah.
all the bacon on it.
Don't ask me silly questions. You
Okay.
know what's really bad? And this is probably y'all gonna judge me for this. Speaking
Tell
of
me. I ain't
judgment,
gonna judge you because I wanna know. I'm gonna be right there with you.
sometimes I put mayonnaise on mine.
Just a smidget. Just a
Just a
smidget. A smidget. Because you can't put too much. Because
just
well,
a treat, because
just
you
a
just want to
smidget. Just a little squirt on it. I asked for mayo packet so I could just put a
same. Just a
smidget.
little mayo packet, and that's it.
Last one is pork chop meal. They
I've
pork
never
chops is
had a pork
hitting.
chop from
They
there.
pork chops is grilled, baby.
Child, that's how
Hit
you know.
in. Okay. Second
Waffle
one.
House is not a real place. Pork
You
chops.
oh God. I need to try to stay there. As many years I've been going to Waffle House for probably almost my whole entire life, almost.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get with the program. I'm gonna try their
What's
grits and I'm gonna try their steak
I
next.
don't
My
like
next.
the grits, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you don't like the grits? Okay,
I don't like their grits. Sorry,
good
not
to
sorry.
know. I'm pretty sure my next place on this is JR Crickets. Um,
Okay,
it's definitely
solid.
the if I have to pick out of all of these, the next place is JR. What
We've
about you?
talked about JR Crickets before. I'm gonna be honest. Out of sheer how often I will eat this place and feel no kind of ways about it, it's gonna be Chick-fil-A number two.
Chick-fil-A. I knew you were gonna say that.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even on Sundays, every Sunday just about. I'll be like, I'm gonna head to Chick-fil-A, and then I'm like, oh, can't. So off of sheer, I have essentially eaten every single thing on that menu and have no problems with any of it except for that new honey pimento cheese sandwich. I
Ain't
don't
no
think I'm
way I'm
gonna
about to do
try
that.
it. That's a little
Ain't no way.
that don't
They lost me with that one.
not appealing for me. Even though they've not made a bad choice yet in life, not I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm there yet. But
So we only get to pick three, right?
so that was my second one. Jared Crickets was your second one. What's your third one?
Chick-fil-A, hands
Okay.
down. I eat Chick-fil-A. Now, I am notorious. I am a person that I'm not gonna be. Okay, well, it just depends, but mostly I'm not gonna be spending a whole bunch of money on like eating out during the week because I know how I like to eat out on the weekends and eat, and I'm very just try to be self aware of like what I'm eating during the week because I want to save all my calories. But I eat Chick Fil A at least once a week, and it's just so many things on the menu that I can get like right now. Now
Yeah.
I got to decide between if I want to Waffle House in the morning or Chick Fil A in the morning, one or the other,
And
because Friday is my
that's
cheat
valid.
day.
That's valid. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna cheat, you cheat with Waffle House, but that's just me. That's just me. My third choice, obviously, JR Crickets. So we have the same
Girl,
top three just in a different order. Now I will say if I had to choose a fourth,
American
it's
Deli,
gonna be no Zaxby's, bruh.
Zaxby's.
It's
Okay,
gonna be Zaxby's. I like a good Zaxby's, and their sweet tea is slept on. That Zaxby sweet tea is the F good, girl. Them
listen, I
fries,
actually
ooh,
let me tell
they give me the
you when
stumbling.
both of my kids were in the house and probably every Thursday I would go to it was every Thursday I would go to Zaxby's. They have a family pack where you could
Mm.
get 20 fingers or I think it was 25 or 30 boneless with fries, and I would get that
Ooh,
every Thursday, and it's like 20 something dollars, but I
not
mean
bad. Does
it's
it
not
come with
it's
a drink?
really no, it doesn't come with a drink, but it comes
That's
with like
okay.
enough fingers or enough boneless wings and fries and
Fries.
toast. So I used to
Oh,
get
I
that
forgot about the
every
toast. The toast is
Thursday
good.
for my family because I'm like, okay, well, this is the day that we gonna eat out. And my kids love my daughter. She eats so much goddamn on Chick Fil A. She need to work at Chick Fil A. But I literally Chick Fil A and Zaxby's were my two for doing the household like getting the kids food. That's definitely
Yeah.
even now with the grandkid. He loves some Chick Fil A.
Chick-fil-A is just a staple,
He
man.
loves Chick
Chick-fil-A is a
Fil A.
staple. But I do like Zaxby's. I like American Deli, but I kind of only get American Deli when they're near. I'm not thinking about going out of my way to get American Deli. And the
So JR
varsity,
Crickets is close to you. American Deli is closer to me.
I
I'm in.
see. I
I'm in.
see.
Yeah,
But
you know
even
where I'm at.
honestly, for JR Crickets, even if it was when it wasn't close to me, that's a place that I'm like, I want to go to JR Crickets. Like I will
I
kind of
love
like
JR Crickets.
JJ's Fish. Now, if
Yeah.
JJ's Fish was on the
Oh.
list, I don't care that they're not close. I want to go,
Ooh.
you know?
JJ's.
So that's just a little inside scoop
Maybe
for
that's where
my
I should
girls.
go tomorrow. Maybe I should save my calories for JJ's. It's one like 30 minutes away from me, and I travel.
Nisa, you have got to be stopped,
I'm so
okay?
hungry. I'm so hungry.
Girl, let's get up off of here and see what happens when we don't talk to y'all for 1 week. We just talk and don't stop. I also want to just let y'all know that my mom made some
Oh,
turkey neck bones. Do you think
godly,
I did not drive all the
golly.
way to the
I
suburbs
can't
and
stand
get a
you for that.
bowl last night? Did.
I can't believe you done did. I can't but I'm gonna make some. Don't worry.
Oh, I know you are. And they be good. But anyway, you got
Um,
anything for us sis, before we
oh
head on
yeah.
out?
Do
It's
I have a
time.
quote? I do have a quote. I don't know who this is by, but people are too quick to pass judgment and too slow to self-reflect. I think that's appropriate.
Very.
Sending healing and love to Jada and
Yeah,
Will and everybody out there that needs it. It's
for real,
mental
man.
health awareness. We just had mental health awareness day a couple of days ago. I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I reached out to my loved ones. I reached out to my family. I reached out to my babies, my kids. But everybody, just make sure you are taking care of yourself, not only physically, spiritually, emotionally, but mentally as well. My husband in the background snoring, y'all. He's sleeping.
I
Boy,
can't hear it.
okay, he
He
is
will fall.
sleepy.
One thing I my brother, he gonna go to sleep. Okay,
He gonna go
he
to
gonna
sleep,
go to
baby.
sleep.
I'm like, oh, okay, he just over this.
Shout out to the
But anyway,
Hawks. Preseason just started. Y'all, we got a fun little
and the
surprise.
Falcons.
And the Falcons, did they win this week?
They did win this week. Hallelujah! By one
Or do
point.
they do they have a perfect record?
No, baby.
They lost
They this is they're 3-2. I'm pretty sure they won 3 games and they've lost 2 games. But hey, that's a
okay.
good start. I'm okay with
They're
that.
winning more than they've lost. I'm not mad
But
at
shout
that.
out to the Braves too. The Braves
Shout out to the
lost
Braves.
terribly yesterday.
They
Ugh.
lost terribly, and if they lose the next game, they're out of here. So
Oh, but
sending
they've done
prayers
so
to them.
well.
Yeah,
Healing energy.
the Braves, them boys. We already know.
We just need
Um,
Falcons to do something because and Hawks or Hawks and both or both. Whatever.
we'll see. Y'all, we have something fun planned for y'all down the line with sports. So y'all just stay tuned for that. I think you're gonna get a kick out
You're
of
gonna get a kick out
what
of
we
this
got coming down the pike.
up our
Okay.
sleeves.
So yeah, y'all, you definitely do not want to miss a week. Now,
Mhm.
you will get alerted. It might not be live like where we're physically here, but I'm gonna be in the chat. Nisa gonna be in the chat when they premiere. We probably will have to pre-record these next couple episodes, but we gonna be in the chat to talk about it. Okay, so
Yes,
y'all make
baby.
sure y'all pull up to the scene, which is still in missing, and join in. Okay, and we'll see y'all
Thank
back live
y'all.
the
Mhm.
second Thursday in November. We're gonna try to have a special guest for y'all, and we appreciate you. All right, y'all.
Like, subscribe, share. We love you guys. We appreciate your support. Bye.
Bye.